Colin Kaepernick. You know, he worked out a few weeks ago with the Raiders. But I always wanted to know, especially from your opinion, do you feel like the league at the time when this all happened, do you feel like, I don't want to say the players, but like, do you feel like overall the league kind of like left him hanging as far as like not standing behind him and having his back?
Everybody was scared because, like I said, the NFL is like, technically, it's called the National Football League, but it really stands for not for long.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like I told you, the average career is 3 years, and nobody wants to put their neck out there for somebody else, even if it'll help their culture and their people. Like, people are really just like, no, it's out for self. And even though you believe him and you know what he's doing is right, they just refuse to support him because it's kind of like why in the 60s, you know, when they would leave a black man hanging from a tree just so everybody drove by could know that this could be you, you know, and that's what they did to Kaepernick. They left him to hang like that as a reminder to any player that felt like they were going to be as brave as him and try to stand up for black people.
Exactly. At this point, for me though, I don't even know, you know, if I want him to just come back and just play quarterback again. I'm like, maybe if it's like a higher position in the league, or is it something like that? Because it's like
he would never. He would play because he's passionate, and everybody's always like, why does he want to play for a team, for a league that hates him and that this and that? You might work for Pepsi. They're racist too. That doesn't mean you don't deserve your check, and it doesn't mean they get to treat you any kind of way. You know, there's laws behind that. You can still disagree with your boss and the owner of your team while still commanding a paycheck. Like, that's a thing. We fought for that right. There's a law from slaves, not slaves, but from, you know, black people, where the bus lockout that happened down south. When was that? Maybe 63, where you know, our people like did where we weren't riding the bus. Boycott. Yes, that's the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
Boycott, and because you can still boycott things that you need. Like, why do people think that because you don't like the way that someone's handling business that you still shouldn't get your check? Exactly. He's a football player, and he absolutely deserves to play football.
Exactly.
He's not a front office person. He's not a GM. He's a football player.
And I feel like he would still be. I mean, even though it's been about 5-6 years now, I still feel like you know he could still be better than some of the quarterbacks in the league today. But it's just like they won't.
It's disgusting watching some of these players that they
prop
out here knowing that this man has been sitting there begging for an opportunity. And I talked to his girlfriend a few weeks ago, and I asked her, like, was it a legit trial? Like, are they really going to consider this before it happened? It was like maybe a day before it happened. And I was like, is this a legit trial? Like, are they really going to look at him? And she was like, we're hoping so. You know, I haven't talked to her since then to figure out, like, you know, what all happened.
I can think of like Seattle right now. Seattle, they got rid of Russell. They could definitely use a quarterback. They just run right off the top of my mind. But it's like, man, I don't know if they really want to give him their chance because of what he stood up for. And then, of course, you know, if they sign him, then they're going to be like,
is he going to kneel again? Like, what's going to happen?
Yeah, it's going to be so much around it, which I never had a problem with him taking a knee. I remember at the time,
nobody should have a problem with him exercising his rights as an American.
Exactly. I was working at the radio station at ESPN Upstate, and at the time when he first took a knee, like the radio personalities and the people who were calling in, first thing they were saying is like, why does he care? He should be happy. He's making millions of dollars. He should just be quiet.
Care that people that look like you are getting shot in the back by police because you make millions of dollars.
Exactly, and that's what when they asked me about it, because I was just a producer for the show. When they asked me about it, I was like, I appreciate the fact that he's making more money than the average person, but I appreciate the fact that he's stepping up for people who doesn't have that kind of platform and that voice to speak, and he's speaking up for those people. But you know, people that don't look like us, they felt a certain type of way about it, and they was like, no, he should just be happy making his money. He's disrespecting the flag.
That's what they do to our black men in sports. They give you money, and that's supposed to put a piece of tape over your mouth in regards to things happening to your culture. You know, and the crazy thing is, ever since he kneeled, I haven't stood for the national anthem since. And I go to NFL games, NBA games, Little League, whatever it is, I'm not standing. I don't care who's there. I don't care where it's at.
Do you catch side eyes sometimes when you do it?
I sit courtside at games and I won't stand up. And no, I'm not going to. I don't do it at my son's school events and functions. None of it. I'm not doing it. And that's owed to him.